Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to EXA X2. We are here in the replacement for the circuit de Catalunya. We are at the Mexico City circuit, as due to the bump at, I believe it's turn 13 in Catalunya, we have had to change. And Mexico is probably the best replacement which you could probably first think of to replace. It is showtime, and we await the first drivers to come out of the pit lane. I'm expecting that timer to reset to 18 minutes, because that's not we are normally loading in. Oh, never mind, we have got our first car, and it is a full black V-carb. Or is that just a shadowing? If I had to guess, that was just a shadowing. So our championship leader Vigo in the Alpine. I know, right? Alpine leading the championship, where we ain't had that in a while. Challengers all looking to chase as well. So all I know is that the top three are split by 8 points, and I'm going to get up the driver standings. So Vigo leads with 75 points. Behind him, Runnard in the Haas on 68 points. And then only 1 point behind Runnard, you have Anton Shabotarov, the Ukrainian who won out in the Principality last week. But this week we are in a complete different type of circuit, the fast flowing, flat out sections. And I think now here comes some little games that Ultimate John will want. So that slipstream from, I can only guess it is Paul Diver in the Red Bull car. So Paul Diver will be our first driver to take us away. Yonah is also not far back, but he is not racing once again. So around the final corner, get it right. You normally take a wider line to get some more speed towards down the straight. Use a lot of your battery pack. Down in towards turn number 1, we'll go on board with the Red Bull. Trying to pick up a slight bit of slipstream from the Aston Martin car, as he actually decided to help him out there and go out of the way. Hit the apex quite nicely, flick the wheel left, hit the inside apex to turn 2, and then to turn 3. A little bit wider on entry than he would have wanted, but got on the power very nicely. Now down towards the heavy braking zone of turn number 4, and then flick the wheel right once again for turn number 5, and towards turn 6 and 7 we go, and then towards turn number 8, towards the start of the fast flowing section in this track, through turn 8, turn 9, into turn 10 and 11. Could be right on the limit to get most of the time. Flat through 12 towards turn number 13, and as we are about to enter the stadium section, watching Paul Diver trying to set the solid benchmark for his hopes of a pole position. Towards the final corner we go with Paul Diver in the Oracle Red Bull Racing car. Around the final corner, take that tight line up to the line. It's going to be a 1:13.9. The next side will be Runnard, who is finishing his lap. Then there'll be Ultimate John, who has actually decided to come into the pit lane. Dele Royale goes up to P3, and Fairly Exotic is onto provisional pole with a, well, it did have a 13.6. Anton Shabotarov takes pole as IT Grobbo goes up to P3 with a 13.9. What about Nelu up to the line? He can go P3 as well, 9 milliseconds from the front row. Next up is Tommy in it. Up to the line, he goes slowest of the lot, 1.3 behind from pole position. What about Leo though? Leo was competitive early in the season, crossed the line, slots in just behind his teammate, 0.098 behind. And I think that is Runnard, who has just begun his lap. No, it's Marty. So next up we will have, I think it actually is Runnard on board with him around the final corner up to the line. Where can Runnard go? Sets the exact same lap time as Faded Exotic, and he's got the exact same gap to pole as Exotic. Now we're going to be watching Retired Yovoda, who goes off the track, lucky to keep that lap to be honest. Flick the wheel right into probably the hardest section of the track. I think it's harder than the S's. And towards the final corner we go with the Aston Martin car. A little bit of a twitch on exit, up to the line, and it's going to be P6 with a 13.751. Next up, Marty in the other Haas car. We're on board with him through this section. It's either this section or the stadium section, which is the hardest point of the track. Towards the end of the middle sector, we go with Marty, 15.55.557 as we enter the stadium section. If you are a Mexican driver in this section, you will be having the loudest roar of the year. Like Checo Perez. It's up to the line. We go with Marty, and we'll only go P number 9. And the next up we will have is that the Alpines maybe doing a little bit of a tow with each other. These are the next two on laps. Is Marty gone again? Don't really know. Vigo, so we're going board as our championship leader. Yet to set a lap time, but he's got his teammate behind, just in front of him. Yeah, maybe helping him on the straights. Might be affecting him slightly in the corners. But as we go through this flat out section now, a little bit wide on that part. I might cost him a couple hundredths as he exits the twists and turns of sector 2 towards sector 3, 55.558. I think that's just down on Marty, I think. So championship leader Vigo. Maybe he'll find the time that he would ideally want. Around the final corner we go as Vigo. Stand on the power on the exit at the final corner. Up to the line. Doesn't look competitive. I was right. It's only P9 behind his teammate. 7 milliseconds behind his teammate. Next up will be Ultimate John. Into turn 1 we go. Actually, is Marty improving? No, he's not. Marty has to validate. So we're going board with Ultimate John sliding his way out of turn number 3. Now on the power down towards turn 4. A lot of smoke up front for a lockup. That could actually be Anton there, just trying to stay with Ultimate John a bit. Maybe just wanted to get that. Maybe want to get that benefit of a tow down the main straight. And on provisional pole, decided to go back out for another lap and flick the wheel. Ultimate John flurriedly flicking that car through this section. As towards the end of the twist and turns in sector 2 we go, and now use some more of that battery pack towards the end of the middle sector. Look how much of the outside tracker he is using. Maybe a bit of time loss there on entry. And towards the stadium section, a little bit of a correction on the steering angle. And towards the final corner we go with Paul Diver, Ultimate John, sorry. Where can he go in the Visa Cash Up Red Bull Racing car? Up to the line and over the line. And it's only P11. Next up is going to be not any of the Alpines. I think it will be Anton Shabatarov. Oh, man who is hunting down the championship lead from Vigo. Vigo slightly 9th. Anton Shabatarov on provisional pole as he was in Monte Carlo. And through turns 1, 2 and 3 we go with the Ukrainian looking for 2 in a row. Maybe a little bit wider on the exit of turn 3 that he would have wanted. Now on the power down towards turn 4. Is there going to be an improvement within the first sector? 600s up on his personal best. Now, according to the game, that is purple in the first sector, fastest of the lot. He is setting the pace here in Mexico City as we make our way towards the twist and turns of sector 2. Anton Shabatarov will be wanting to extend that margin by quite some more, as he's only got half a tenth advantage at this current state of time. Towards the end of the twist and turns, towards the stadium section we go. It's 500s up this time. Lost the 100th during the middle sector. It's quite consistent though. To only lose 100th on his current lap time. And towards the end, will he decide to pit? He invalidates, and he's going to now pit. He is. He's going to finish the lap. After overloading the line, it is a 83 millisecond improvement. Next up, we're going to watch Runnard, I think. No. Yeah, Runnard. So Runnard looking for an improvement here. Good evening to everyone in the chat, for people who have just tuned in. Towards the end of the sector 2 we go as Runnard. And up over the sector time, he is definitely up on the original pole time. How was that? How that's not invalid? I do not know. No questions asked of it. And towards the final corner we go with Runnard in the Haas. The man who is second in the World Championship, 7 points back over the line, and can go on to pole with a 1:13.406. Dede Royale's going to cross the line and doesn't improve his position. Tommy Innes just started the lap. Next up will be, is it going to be Anton Shabatarov? Did his lap, didn't he? I think it will actually be. It might be Nelu. Could be one of the Red Bulls actually. No, the Red Bulls are on that out lap. Aston Martin, yeah, Marty, I could think. It is Marty. Marty in the first sector, two and a bit tense up. And towards the end of the middle sector we go. Marty looking to join his teammate up there. He's got to find, I'd say like another 3/10 to then he could be up there with his teammate. Towards the stadium section we go with Marty in the Haas. The Haas car's looking very competitive. Like in real life, they was looking very competitive here, as there is a whole gaggle of cars. I'm actually going to turn away from that for a second. There's a lot of gaggle of cars, and Marty does go over the line to P number 2. So sorry to turn away, but there's a lot of yellow flags there and a lot of cars involved in that little skirmish. I think there's like 5-6 cars, as the two Alpines once again seem to be a lot closer together compared to the last time. Nello, I think, had to bail out of his lap, to be honest. So I think next up will be Yavoda. I think that was purple for Robbo in the first sector. Yes, it is purple. You can see on the minimap it says purple there, or shows purple. Towards the twists and turns, you're going to see the V-Carb and the Red Bull flick through now. There you can see those behind as well. But we're focusing on the Aston Martin as he makes his way down the mini straight, and he's 1.8 down. So we will turn away from him. Next up will be Paul Diver, and then Robbo, and then Paul Diver lost time in the middle sector as Robbo through the stadium section knock over the bollard as he wishes, and towards the final corner we go. Easy to turn in a bit early on the final corner with a lot of grip. Up and over the line Robbo goes, and it's only going to be P7. What about Paul Diver? You can see him in the background. Paul Diver doesn't improve his position. Then next up we should have the two Haas cars are coming round now. We're going to be watching Vigo. Championship leader needs a better lap if he's to challenge for this win throughout the whole race. He might be able to fight his way through the field, but as he makes his way around the final corner, Vigo, where can he put his Alpine car over the line? It's only going to be an improvement to P9. Well, that's Strikey. He's not improving at all. But Faded Exotic, I didn't even see him there. Exotic has pit runnered by 9 milliseconds. Wow, wow, wow. They must have been wheel to wheel at the final corner then, because I've just rewatched it on the stream. Could Strike be pushing again? Seems to be that he is. Anton Shabotarov has gone for another lap time. See that fuel light's flashing. He's got 0.7 laps of fuel left, has Strikey. So I think, depending on what the Delta says, he makes his way to the end of the middle sector, over the middle sector line. It's a 10th of the bit improvement. That'll be good enough for only P10 at this current state of time. I think around that, maybe P9. Towards the end of the lap we go. Sorry. Strikey improves to P6. Definitely seeing the faster Alpine here in Mexico tonight. But we're going to turn our attention to Anton Shabotarov, who had an invalidated lap time, was on pole earlier in the session, dropped down to 4th, has got, I'd say, needs to find at least 2/10. Has Anton Shabotarov, and he's only 400ths of a second up towards the end of the middle sector. He was 400 up into the stadium section we go. Yellow flags in sector 1 for slow moving Alpine. Anton Shabotarov around the final corner hits the wall and will cut pit entry and will decide to box. Here comes Leo, 10th and a half up, right up to the line. Where can Leo go in the Ferrari? Onto original pole position with a 13.363. Next up it will be Paul Diver, who comes into the pits. Then it's going to be Ultimate John in the V-Carb as he stands on the power out of the final corner over the line. It's not going to be pole position. It's going to be only P11 for Ultimate John. Next up will be Dede, who is down on his lap. Definitely not on a proper lap time there. And that is Nelu, who is on the outlap. So we have the Haas on the outlap as well. And Yavoda, I believe, was on a lap time. He's in medium ERS deployment at the minute, but he seems to be using that battery in attack mode. Yes, he is. Vigo has left the session. And that ride from Yavoda, very wide. That's definitely going to cost him some time as he enters the heart of Sector 2. Now on the power on the exit of Sector 2 towards the line. To determine how much he's up by 89 milliseconds the improvement is. Not enough for pole as it stands. But you saw Leo had a mega improvement in that final sector, using as much of the inside curb as he can on every single corner possible. Here comes Yavoda up to the line, and the Aston Martin goes 2 milliseconds from pole position, and Yavoda will be so annoyed from that as he does retire from the session on track. So I think next up we'll watch Nelu, who is 1.4 down. Maybe got impeded by a bit by the Williams. So I'm just trying to see is there anyone actually on the lap. I think we'll watch Runnard, the man who needs to find half a tenth at most to improve to pole position. Yellow flags for faded exotic, wanting a bit of a tow from the Scuderia Ferrari and Nelu Safu. And towards the end of the middle sector we go as Runnard in our Haas, the man chasing Vigo down, only 200ths of a second up. Runnard towards sector 3, towards the stadium section we go, on the limit as much as he can. That front left not wanting to cooperate with the turn and drifting on exit, very close to track limits on both occasions. Up to the line is this pole position for Runnard, over the line, and it's not an improvement. It's 700 down on his best time. Over to Marty, who is actually just beginning his lap time. Two Red Bulls are close together as well, as is Dede. So I think next up will be Nelu Safu in the Scuderia Ferrari. Anton Shabotarov will not be coming out for another lap time. 1 minute 18 to go. Our man, who seemed to be fastest after the first races, will not be challenging. Won't even be challenging the top 4. He's P6 at best. That's what that was like when we saw Max Verstappen in P6 in Monte Carlo last year. Only seeing that man in P6 at best. Our championship leader though, P10 at best. Not a good day for Vigo. Olma John has retired. Purple in the middle sector for Nelu Safu. And he invalidates the lap. Nelu has invalidated the lap time as Exotic is coming to the end of his lap. It is raining in Mexico City. We have got some rain at the end of this qualifying session, and that could hamper everyone. Is Marty improving? Is there any improvement from Marty? 0.6 of a second down. Runnard, is he improving? No, he's not. What about the Red Bulls? Are they finding any improvements? Robbo has retired. Dede Royale has found a 10th improvement, I think, on his lap time. Bull Diver, I couldn't see if that dealt with improvement, but his track's getting very slippery now, as I think that is it for qualifying. Unless anyone finds an improvement, I think we have crowned our pole position. Dominant has retired from the session. Marty's retired from the session. Bull Diver, will there be an improvement from the Rebel Racing car towards the end of the lap? We go with Bull Diver. I don't think it's going to be, no, definitely not going to be an improvement. Qualifying is done. It's the Scuderia on pole as we watch him take a little bit of a tumble on the exit of turn number 5. But Leo, I think he's having a bit of fun now. 4 tenths up and Maggie. So that is qualifying done and dusted. We've got Scuderia on pole by 2 milliseconds. Very close qualifying once again. He's trying to drift, I think, but it's not going very well, is it? He seems to be trying to wobble the wheel around. Is Strikey improving at all? No, he's not. He opts to come into the pit lane. Cool. So last man to cross the line is Leo. Track is actually on actually intermediate conditions now as he does pit, so we have to wait that extra time now. But there is your pole sitter. V10 Leo in the Ferrari has pipped. I forgot. He has pipped the Aston Martin of Yavoda by 2 milliseconds. And now over to the main event. We now await the 5 red lights to go on. We are waiting for the countdown. So I'm going to quickly show you the grid. There's the grid, for fuck's sake. 5 lights on. As Yovoda has actually left the session. 5 lights on. And it's 5 lights out and it's foot to the floor. And we are going racing in Mexico City. And it is a good start for our pole. He's not really going to be under much pressure from Yovoda. As making our way down towards turn number 1. In the slipstream is Runner on this slipstream, gaining on the Ferrari, Is he going for the lead of the race? Is Runner on towards the inside of turn 1? Yes, he is running outside. Leo will keep the lead in the race. And it is Leo from Runner, then Exotic, then Nelu, then Anton, then Striking, and Marty, Yovoda, all the way down into our place. As making our way down towards turn number 4. Is that a launch to the inside from the Haas car? No, it's not. As we're making our way towards Sector 2, there is dueling between Vigo and Robbo. They're on board. We'll go on board with Robbo as we enter the exit of turn number 7. Or turn number 6. I don't actually really know, to be honest. But Robbo making his way through Sector 2 has been overtaken by our championship leader as the rest are trying to hunt him down. But Exotic's going for it on Runner, is he now? Into the stadium section. No, he's not. And he just has to say it tucked up behind and into the same section we go. Look how close Runner is to the back of the Scuderia Ferrari. On board with the Haas cars. We're making our way around the final corner to start lap number 2 of 36. And in the slipstream he is. He's probably going to go for the lead of the race. Is Leo going to defend this? No, he's not. Pulls out to the inside. And Runner, second in the championship, is going to take the lead of the race. What about Exotic though in the turn number 1? Will Leo try and fight this back? He didn't want to, but Runner pushed him a bit wide. Exotic just had to sit back and not fight it at all. Now on the run down towards turn number 4. Awesome start from Nelu, indeed it was. 3 positions gained for Runner. Yovoda has retired. So the man who qualified in the front row having some technical difficulties. So very unfortunate for him. 3 places gained for Runner and Nelu. Those 2 gaining a lot. Our pole sitter is down into 2nd place. But he will get the benefit of the rear wing opening. As making our way towards the end of the heart of Sector 2. And into Sector 3 we are about to enter. Go on board with Leo. We're just watching him into the stadium section, looking through the time page. No one seems to be wheel to wheel. Everyone's seeming to be quite clean on this race start. As around the final corner we go, I think, has everyone chosen the hard tyres? The medium tyres? Yes, except Marty. So the longer Marty can stay with these lot, the better. Until the crossover point is in the slipstream. Maybe Exotic will want to go through down towards turn number 1. Will we see a late lunge like I did on our Rebel yesterday into turn number 1? No, he won't. But I'll tell you who is on the move. Anton Chabotarov running outside, switch to the inside, then back up to the outside. Through 2 and 3. Off the track almost goes Anton Chabotarov. Stand on the power on the exit of turn number 3. Not much battery left for Anton Chabotarov. Will he make a lunge towards the inside of turn number 4? No, he won't. Anton Chabotarov has to just stay stuck up behind Nelu. And now has to recharge that battery pack and Strikey now maybe poison an attack on the McLaren car in towards the heart of Sector 2 we go now. We'll just follow a Strikey for a bit as he's maybe seeing that rear light flashing for a moment on the show. Maybe thinking I might be able to get ahead of Anton Chabotarov here. Vigo is still stuck up behind Marty on the hard tyres. Into the stadium section we go. Lovely helicopter cam here, watching Faded Exotic as he enters the penultimate corner now. And we're going to watch it through the helicopter cam, hopefully down the whole straight to see to properly see how much these cars properly gain. But no, we won't, unfortunately. We'll go on board with Exotic because he might be thinking to make an attack here to see how close he is to Leo. But I think he's just going to actually stay tucked up behind Leo. In towards turn number 1. The top, everyone's staying well behaved. The 2 Ferraris, the highest running teams. As through to the first couple of corners we go. Once again, everyone's staying well behaved, but Tommy in it, I believe, has just fallen out of that DRS. Actually got it back down to under a second. Yovoda, my luck, man. Yeah, unlucky. That's all I can really say. It's just unlucky, isn't it? Not really much to say on as we go through these cut sequence of corners. I'll tell you who's doing quite well. Marty on the hard tyres, doing quite well for himself there. Into Sector 3 we are about to enter. Sorry if I go quiet at times, I am just either yawning or the reason I almost had to retire from yesterday's race. Into the stadium section we go with Leo and Exotic, but we'll go on board with Leo because maybe he's just sitting behind, saving his tyres and his tyre temperatures, which are a crucial factor in Mexico, especially with the rear left tyre. Down the main straight we go once again. I think he's just going to stay tucked up behind runners, or could I be proven wrong? Down, gaining on the Haas in towards turn number 1. Going to stay tucked up behind. Like 83 milliseconds split them as we go under brake into turn 1. And is that Robbo maybe poisoning an attack on the Alpine? The gap was very close under the braking. Now on the exit of turn number 3, on the exit on the run down towards turn 4, could Vigo maybe make a lunge on the inside of Marty? Had a look, didn't make do, as now wide goes Marty in the Haas car. Haas, who were originally 1 and 2, are now 1st and 7th. So, well, there wasn't originally 1-2. There was 1-2 at one point in qualifying. So the Haas car, they definitely have pace in Mexico City. That one looks very close to track limits on board. As we went on board for that moment, there was Leo. As towards the stadium section we go with Leo now. Where can Leo place his car to make sure he is close enough to hopefully make a pass? As we go around the final corner with Leo in the Ferrari. Down the main straight we go. Seems very close this time for a move. The top 12 was in DRS. They still are, but Robbo has got ahead of the Alpine. And into turn number 1 we go. Will we see change of lead? Yes, we will see change of lead. Into the lead goes Runners. As on the inside, down the inside goes Anton Chabotarov on Nelu Savu. Nelu will try to hold this around the outside. Change to the inside, then back to the outside on the exit of turn 3. Pushed wide slightly by the McLaren, and now through goes Strikey. And now are we going 3 abreast in towards turn 4? Running outside, Strikey might try. It switched to the inside of turn number 5. And now on the inside, the Alpine can't make the move. I think off the track maybe went Anton Chabotarov. Now down the inside, Strikey trying to think on the Ferrari, but now Anton has lost out to DRS to the top 3 as we enter the heart of Sector 2. Will Anton be able to claw that lost time back as Ultimate John and Vigo dueling away into the heart of Sector 2, and he is made up a place ahead of Vigo. Vigo championship leader down to P11. As in towards the stadium section we go. How much will Anton be able to gain in the critical corners for his whole race? Just trying to see how much he can gain. It's going to be very close, sliding on the exit as we make our way around the final corner with Anton Chabotarov. Has lost DRS, and Leo has set the new fastest lap of this Grand Prix so far. Down the main straight towards turn number 1, and we're going to see a change of lead once again. Runners on the inside to take the race in line and to retake the lead of this X2 Grand Prix. Is down on the inside. Nelu actually now have properly fired with Anton. Nelu had to go the long way round to overtake Anton Chabotarov. Anton didn't willingly want to let that up. As down the main straight, down the second straight, sorry, down towards turn number 4. Anton Chabotarov is going to stay stuck to behind. Is that Marty and Robbo swapping around? Yes, it is. Marty on the hard tyres. Down another place. As the top 3 starting to stretch their legs a bit from the rest of the field. You've got the top 3 train. Tommy is just in his own world, isn't he? Poor Tommy. Through the heart of Sector 3 we go. Exotic, it seems to be that Exotic has got that higher downforce setup, because he seems so much closer here, and then it's down the main straight he seems to lose more time. No, we'll stay on board with Faded Exotic for this main straight unless there's any more action behind. I will definitely be expecting to change the lead here depending on the gap, maybe not, but look, he sits in medium. They're both in medium. Okay, maybe he does have straight line speed. Hot lap being used for Leo now as the straight line speed changes. It's down towards turn number 1 we go with these 3, and it is the same top 3. Everyone staying as they were as we enter straight towards turn 4. Anton ruined any chance he had for the win with all that defending goofy race cars. Yeah, literally. And now Anton went wide through turn 4. And lost 2/10 there to the top 3. So Anton Shrotarov, hoping to lead the championship after this race, at this moment, seems to be Runnard will be the one who takes the lead of the championship. If you could fact check me, was that as it stands at the moment, Runnard will be our new championship leader. As almost losing the car, and now can Exotic punish? Can he punish the Scuderia Ferrari on the exit of the final corner? They are literally inside of each other as Exotic loses the car on the exit and picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and Anton is almost back with India. Marty dueling away with Robbo there through the first couple of corners. Marty back through on Robbo on the hard tyres. Hard tyres maybe starting to come into life now for Marty. He's still got a long way to go until he can pit. Is that Vigo? It is. And now we can see a change of lead once again as Leo, Runnard and Exotic are now all dueling away for top spot. We've actually got some proper racing here in Mexico. On the inside, Fred Exotic will try and hold his nose in on the Ferrari on the exit of turn number 7 towards the heart of sector 2. Welcome back into the lead train, Anton Shrotarov. So Rody, you have cursed the top 3. They've all lost their heads, and now they've allowed the rest of the field back into the lead train. Towards sector 3 we go, and it's Runnard who leads from Leo, then Exotic, then Anton, then Nelu, then Strikey, then Marty, then Robbo, then Paul Diver, then Vigo, then John, then Dede, and then Tommy. Almost 10 seconds back from the rest of the field. Towards the final we go. On board with the Scuderia Ferrari. Everyone in the DRS train except for the Sauber, showing realistic Sauber pace, it has to be said. Down the main straight we go with Leo. Lost 2 seconds as into the pit lane for a undercut. A quite early undercut. Only did 9 laps on the medium compound tyre. It is quite the early undercut for Vigo, so he is going bold. He is looking to gain places, and he knows he doesn't have the pace to overtake everyone. As these two are still going at it down towards turn number 4. I'll tell you who that's actually ruined was Vigo pitting. Ultimate John and Dede Royale now losing time compared to the others. Why does it keep doing that? Towards the end of the heart of sector 2 and towards sector 3 we go, which is just basically the stadium section. Exotic on board with him. It's only 1 or 2 drivers to have a track limit penalty. Exotic and Tommy in it are the ones with penalties. As yeah, Exotic seems so much better in the corners, a little bit unsteady there. As that on the exit, that could allow Anton Shrotarov to make the move. Round the final corner we go. We're actually going to go on board with Anton Shrotarov because I think he will be wanting to make the move. Using the battery pack, it's going to pull out to the inside. Both of them deploying battery. Will we see a lunge from Anton Shrotarov into turn 1? Exotic wanting to come over. Let Leo will go down the inside. Now around the outside, inviting Exotic and Anton to keep it. No, he can't. Contact between Leo and faded Exotic, and that's going to now make it easier. And now on the exit, through goes Nelu in the Ferrari as well. Ferraris on a charge here in the middle start part of this race. As Paul Diver has disconnected from the session. It's action aplenty here in Mexico City now, as we're on only lap 11 of 24. Only on lap 11 of 36. So yeah, disconnected car for Paul Diver, then that'll be unfortunate. Marty is at the back of this train still. So Vigo, Strikey and John are all going for that undercut. Vigo actually 1.4 back from his teammate. As into the stadium section we go. Could we see some more pit stops soon as we enter the stadium section? As Leo around the final corner we go. Will we see Leo pit? Another time penalty for Tommy Innit. Will we see anyone actually pit? Making our way around the final corner. Tommy Innit has retired from the session. As change of lead once again into turn 1. Leo back in front in the lead of this race. Could this now allow Anton to make the move down towards turn number 4, as that's Dede, who is also pitted as well now. Dede Royale into the pit lane, out of the pits, and quite the way from John. And the two Alpines are getting close to hope soon be able to work together, as Robbo and Marty once again scrapping away in this race on the exit of turn number 6. Into the wall goes the Haas, as he got all out of shape. Yellow flags in sector 2 for the spun Haas. Seemed to be just driver error, got Thrall happy, and Marty has spun off and has broken his wing, and that is his race practically over unless there's a safety car. Towards stadium section we go, and the top two are closer than ever throughout this lap. Round the final corner we go with Runner. There's into the pit lane, drifting his way into the pits. Leo goes. So Leo is going to continue. Leo's going to pit, as is Anton Shabatarov, and I think Exotic has actually decided to pit as well. Let me just quickly change it to this, just so you can see who has pitted and or who hasn't. You see drivers have now made their pit stops. Leo's making his way out the pit lane, as has the undercut worked for these lot. Go on board with Strikey. Strikey jumps ahead of them all. Vigo does as well. It is a net Alpine 1-2. And the Alpines, have they cooked up a phenomenal strategy here? They've got all the tyres by 2 or 3 laps. 2 and 3 laps. But they have got themselves to track position until after Runner the Nelu pit. Bull Diver is disconnected again. It's making our way down towards turn number 4. Vigo is sat behind his teammate. So the Alpine, the French outfit is now just wanting to work together in this Mexico Grand Prix. And we're going to be actually go back to our lead fight. Runners actually decided to pull away a tad bit. So the runners started to pull away a tad bit from Nelu. That's what I was meant to say. As Anton gets a 3 second. Anton gets a 3 second. Into the pits comes Runner. Nelu continues on. Robbo pits as well. So Nelu's going for that longer tyre advantage. Into the stadium section we go with the 2 French cars. Strikey and Vigo, net 1 and 2. Depending on where Runner actually does come out. Runner seems to be a slower stop compared to Robbo. Quite a lot of lag there. As on pit exit, Runner falls behind 4 cars. Is that going to be wheel to wheel? Is that a change of position on the inside? Leo up into 3rd place, as it is Ferrari 1-3, Alpine 2-4, and Alpines, are they now starting to be split open from Leo here? As Leo down towards turn number 4, is going to go down the inside of turn 4. Leo Strike is going to try and hold around the outside. Could we see a switchback at turn 5? No, he can't. Good defending from the Alpine. Maybe a launch on the inside. No, he's not. He thought better of it and just thought later on in the race I'll be able to get these lot and pull away. Action aplenty is beginning on here. Marty is going to have a long stint on those medium tyres. Surely into the pits comes Nelu. Yes. So he doesn't have DRS, and he's now decided, I'm going to pit! Oh! Oh! Spun on pit entry. As there is front wing damage on the Ferrari. I believe. Front wing damage on the M plate, if I had to guess. We're going to change our attention to the top 2. Towards the inside. Down the inside goes Leo. Will Vigo try and attack the Ferrari as well? Into turn 1, will we see a lunge by the championship leader? Will he get desperate now because he feels like they went out the pace? On the inside, Exotic almost hits Vigo. Switch to the outside, but then we'll get the better line on the inside. And Exotic is ahead of the Alpines. The Alpines fading away in this race. As off the track actually went Exotic, and back through goes Strikey. And they are basically 2 by 2 through the next couple of corners. Round the outside goes Anton, very deep, and now 3 abreast through turn 5. Off the track goes Exotic. Anton's going to get up into all these places. Exotic down into P6 now on the exit. Can he get ahead of Runner wheel to wheel towards the heart of sector 2? Gets pushed out by Runner, and Runner keeps the place on faded Exotic. But they've lost out on DRS. They have lost DRS. So it is Leo v Vigo for the race to win at this current state of time. Towards the stadium section we go. Anton is just now got to stay tucked up behind. On the exit, the final corner we go. On board with Anton Spotarov, fastest lap for Leo in the Ferrari. He's done quite well this race, just to be able to control what was where. As look how close Runner's getting now. Is he going to go down the inside of Anton Spotarov? Yes, he is. Will Anton fight this back? He is going to fight this round the outside. Switch to the inside, no. But Runner is through. And now we've got more behind. Strikey and Exotic once again dueling away on board with the Alpine car. He has to back out of it and strike the Alpines, who are 1-2, now 2nd and 6th. But Vigo in a much better position now compared to where he was, let's say, 10 laps ago. Stuck down around P9, P10, I think Vigo was. But our championship leader is ahead of Runnard, he's ahead of Anton, he's ahead of just everyone who he is fighting. But Vigo has got DRS, he lost 4 tenths to Runnard in that middle sector until the DRS. 6 tenths improvement on his current personal best lap as we enter the final corner with Runnard. 1.3 is the gap to chase. Will Anton and Runnard have to work together? Runnard doesn't set the fastest lap. What is the fastest lap? A 15.9 by Marty on the mediums. That does make sense, to be fair, as he is on the mediums. Almost at the halfway point, but not even halfway yet. As on the inside, Exotic and Anton dueling away. Anton's going to be able to hold that place, as he will have the inside line for the exit. But actually, Anton and Faded Exotic still dueling away. On the inside, Anton is going to fight this back, you know. Running outside goes Exotic at turn number 4. Switch to the inside of turn 5. Is he going to barge Anton wide? A little bit of debris coming from the cars there as they now switch towards the inside now on the power on the exit of turn number 6. Will Anton Spotarov give it up? Yes, he will. But again, that's questionable racing from Anton Spotarov. He has now made a mistake, and that's going to hold him up even more. But now he has lost DRS to Runnard, and Runnard, I think, could be within DRS this lap if he has an almighty stadium section. There is overcast conditions now, so could there be some rain on the way? No DRS for Runnard. Vigo is just within DRS. I would imagine Strikey is about to repass Anton Spotarov. No, he's not. Maybe he might be. Gaining in the slipstream, using a bit of battery, and he's going to pull out to the inside, and he's going to re-overtake Anton Spotarov and Strikey back up into 5th place in the Alpine. Just trying to sell what's left. I think he's got hit from behind from Anton Spotarov. And that you saw it unsettle the car on the entry point of turn 1 going into 2. And it's just you saw at the correction there from Strikey. As Faded Exotic will be trying to hump back down. Vigo trying to just keep with Leo. The longer he stays with Leo, the better it is for his championship. But I think if Runnard can get ahead of Vigo, well, this will be big for the championship. If Runnard gets into Vigo, I reckon Leo and Runnard will be able just to pull away from Vigo. I know it's hard to gap around here, but it is definitely possible. But Runnard has not got a lot of battery to spare, so when he's in that DRS, I think before overtaking, his goal will be to recharge that pack and just make sure he can attack properly without having 0% for the next straight. So enter re-enter into the fight for the lead of the race. Runnard down towards turn number 1. The top 3 are staying as you were, but I'll tell you who isn't. And Spotarov is ahead. Obviously a lunge from Robbo? No, he won't. The Alpines are on 9 and 8 lap old hard compound of tyres. And on the exit of turn number 3, Strikey will not have DRS. He ain't got much battery either. I'll tell you, Vigo doing quite well for himself there, but it's just in the corners he just loses out compared to Leo and Runnard. So I think we'll have to sit on board with Runnard. Faded Exotic will get DRS soon as Strikey makes a mistake, I can only guess, on the run down towards the heart of Sector 2. And Strikey now lost DRS to the rest. And now on the exit of the heart, The ERS is being used, pulling out to the inside. Vigo wanted to defend, it was too late on the inside, entering the stadium section. Runner the challenger overtakes the leader, and it is now Leo who leads ahead of Runnard. Vigo down to third. Exotic is in fourth still, and could be ready to pounce on the leader at any moment. There's a lot of ERS there. 15.8. That is our brand new fastest lap of this Grand Prix, set by Faded Exotic, as he is gaining his way on the Alpine down towards turn 1. Not going to be close enough for a change of lead. It was Runner going to be close enough for a change of lead. No, he's not. But I'll tell you what, Robbo is close enough for a change of position. He's up in the 6th now, and has got a lot of work to do if he is to hunt back down on Anton Shabotarov, who has lost 2.1 to Exotic. And did I see rain on the halo there? I think I'm just seeing things, to be honest. A Red Bull's a good word. Okay, there is no rain. I'm just seeing things. Is anyone actually still in chat today? Seems quite silent as Anton Shabotarov had a massive moment there. And that could now allow Robbo back into it. It's Robbo. Robbo has got it, yes. As Vigo picks up a 3-second time penalty. But when did Runnard get his? And they're going to be changing the lead. Runnard pulls out to the inside to overtake Leo. And into the lead of the race goes our challenger for the championship. Striking on with John, actually swapping around now as well. Maybe Old John's got a lack of pace, but Robbo back in DRS of Anton Shabotarov. Now on the exit of turn 3. Leo's just going to stay tucked behind Runnard. I'll tell you whose strategy hasn't worked. Nelu Safu went in on lap 14. Has the youngest tyres, I believe. Yeah, youngest tyres, but is 1.6 only from Old John. He's still got a lot of work to do. As if we go to leader, he's over 8 seconds off the lead now, after being 4th at one point. In towards the stadium section we go on board with the Ferrari, the other Ferrari who is excelling in this race, and is on favourite position to win. Leo in the Ferrari should easily repass, really. Down towards turn 1 we go, on board with the Ferrari. I think he's actually going to decide to sit behind, as Vigo is actually maybe using some battery here, maybe wanting to get back ahead. Leo's going to just sit behind, but he realises he has to go defensive there. Runner's going to turn in because he knows Leo is just trying not to make sure that he doesn't cause any mayhem. As on the exit of turn 3, down towards turn 4. And they're going to stay as they were. No, they're not. Exotic, we're on the outside of Vigo. Vigo on the inside, turns to the outside, and Exotic is excelled up into the podium places, and Vigo is down into P4, and our championship leader is off the podium. Robbo could get a podium as well here. Not out of it. He couldn't get second here. Not really much to talk on at the minute. Not a lot of people in chat either. Down the main straight we go with Leo in the Ferrari. Down towards turn number 1 we go with the Scuderia Ferrari. As he is gaining in the section, but it's just not nowhere near close enough. As Anton's going to really overtake Paul Diver and get back into 5th place, as Nelu has finally gained the place on the alternate strategy. As now making our way down towards turn number 4, on board was the Ferrari of Nelu. It's got the DRS just to make sure he can actually keep the place. There is, yes, some yellow flags for Ultimate John, who has had a little spin. Ultimate John is spun round at turn, I want to say on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the exit at turn number 6. That was the spin for Ultimate John. I think I could only guess it was the same thing that happened to Marty, just got a bit trigger happy. Down towards turn number 1 we go once again. And they are all just going to stay as they were. Anton Shrotorov definitely went on a massive push there to see if he could get back within the DRS of Vigo. Nothing happening there. Down towards turn 4 again, and everyone will stay as they was. Maybe not Nelly. Nelly maybe might want to overtake. He's got the youngest tyres, so he needs to get a move on if he is to try and fight for this podium. But I think a podium is well out of reach now for the Ferrari driver. Through the heart of Sector 2 we go with the Ferrari. Towards the stadium section. Ultimate John does pick up a 3-second penalty, but that was ghosted car. That is Dede. And there is another change of position. Icy Robbo is back ahead of Anton Shrotorov. They are just trying to work together to get back into the lead train. If you can't count Robbo out of the win yet. Robbo is still in the race in the hunt for the win. He is definitely here. He is ready to attack for it. But it's just a matter of if he can get into the top 4 DRS train. Towards the end of Sector 2 and towards the first corner of Sector 3 we go. Exotic is just going to stay tucked behind the Ferrari. And maybe a warning there for Exotic as he makes his way around the final corner. And out on the power, I think he's now going to be looking for the move on Leo. Leo knows that he is... Oh! Has Robbo got it? No! So close! Robbo was so close, and all the time it's just gone and gone away. Oh, so unlucky for Robbo. But he is showing promising pace here. He's definitely wanting to re-catch up. Does Leo not use his DRS? Oh no, to be honest. Looked like it. I was more distracted by seeing Robbo's gap was under a second, to be honest. Oh, come on, Robbo. Give us some entertainment. So close. Use your battery, please. Stick in an overtake. We're about to hit the 10 laps to go mark, and Robbo once again so close on the exit, 800ths away from DRS. And I think if these two swap once more, this should be the DRS train back for these two. Towards the inside goes Anton Shrotorov. He has got to push like crazy. As Bono would say to Lewis, it's hammer time for the Ukrainian driver. Towards the first corners of the racetrack we go. And Anton Shrotorov is within the second momentarily. But on the exit, using that battery pack, is now under the second. And it is a question of, can he keep up with these lot until the flag falls in Mexico? 1 second the gap now. It's just bouncing around that, so close, a bit wide from Vigo, and that is so stun. What's the word? That is stone set. These two back into the fight for the on-track lead. Robbo definitely back in for the lead, but he's got 3 cars between himself and overtaking Leo for victory. A lot of flashing red lights, as you can see that he is. Oh, you can see that everyone is. Just want to make sure they've got battery for the final phase of this race. On the final corner now, we go on board with Exotic, up to the line. 1.1 down on personal best. Wow, that's quite the difference. But to be fair, I think when they did have their fast lap, it was when their first lap after they had pitted. Into turn 1, will we see a lunge from Exotic? No, he won't. As that's Nelu and Strikey swapping round, and Nelu's up into 7th. But I'm sorry to say, that's probably the best he's going to get in this Grand Prix. As that's Vigo. Vigo is trying running outside of Exotic. What a move, he can pull it off. Switches to the inside of turn 5. On the inside now at turn number 5. Championship leaders trying to fight his way to see what positions he can get. These two going wheel to wheel on the exit of turn number 6 towards turn number 7. Vigo is going to have it on the outside, but he's going to have to bail out of it. And Exotic now sliding in the heart of sector 2. And Vigo is now trying to maybe finding some more grip on those oldest hard tyres. As Exotic picks up another 3-second time penalty for track limits. 6 second now for the Williams driver. Robbo's got to get a move on. Last week in Monte Carlo had such the unfortunate event after the safety car came out. He pitted for the sauce and got taken out during the first lap of the restart, and he is in the hunt once again for victory. Anton wants to make moves though. He's looking for a launch on the inside of Vigo. No, he's not. But on the inside, Leo's going for the lead. Through goes Exotic in the Williams. Exotic up in the 2nd. Leo up in the 3rd. Vigo down in the 4th. As Leo now is down in the 3rd. And into the lead of the race goes Exotic. Down the inside goes Leo. Maybe moving on the braking from running in the Haas. Maybe now they'll switch back up and under from Leo into turn number 7. And Leo has to just stay tucked up behind. The race is now getting interesting as Robbo's lost the DRS. Oh no. And as I say this, Nelu's almost caught up. So it's maybe we're going to get calm now. Runners just saying, maybe wanting to stay tucked up behind. Faded Exotic as towards the stadium section. And out of the final corner we go with Runners in the Haas, looking to reclaim his on-track lead. But Leo looking very well so far. But I think, where has he gained all that from? Robbo's just suddenly gained another 2nd back. I did not expect that. Change of lead. Runner's going to be able to move up into the lead of the race. As these two, Anton and Leo, dueling away, and Leo keeping ahead. I think actually getting. Vigo is down to 5th. Robbo is starting to struggle. Yeah, he is. But now, could he actually, as you said, could he make a challenge on Vigo running outside of turn number 4? He's going to switch to the inside of 5. Brave move. He can make it stick. Switches to the inside of turn number 4, barging his rival off the road, and through goes Robbo in the Red Bull up in the 5th place, and he's only got 1 car between himself and after race penalties. Is that what's going on to us? Let's watch Robbo for a bit. Good move from Robbo, if I have to say so myself. Towards the stadium section we go. Robbo, you said he seems to be struggling. He's definitely in this, as that's a ghosted car. I think that is Dede Royale's disconnected car. So let's go and watch the top 2. Change of lead, we are going to have Faded Exotic into the lead of the Grand Prix. As Exotic takes the lead, and Runner is going to settle in behind, because Leo maybe now pressure him. He wants to have as many cars possible between himself and Robbo as possible. Actually, we'll quickly have a look at tyre age. And Robbo's got that lap younger tyres down towards turn number 4 and 5. And Leo is just going to settle behind us. A nice quick little drift on the exit of turn 6 as well as Runner did a massive mistake. And now Vigo and Robbo dueling away once again. And Vigo's not thinking smart at all. And re-entered into this little fight. Nelu is back into the fight. But Vigo has now lost the DRS. And Robbo had all that work done. He's now lost it all again. Unlucky. Round the final corner we go. Exotic crosses the line to start to indicate that we have got 5 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. We're going to watch the rear wing of runners as you'd expect. Leo in the Ferrari to go through. Back through goes Robbo as well. He's got to regain all time that was lost. And Anton Spotsov, is he thinking of move to the inside of Runner? No, he is not. Runner who will be hoping to take the championship lead after this race as Vigo is down in 6th and is behind Robbo as well. Hopefully Vigo and could be under pressure soon from Nelu Safu in the Ferrari. Nelu as well will be making a late race charge as everyone's tyres may be starting to go off soon. Nelu will have that extra extra tyre life compared to the rest of the field. Leo back into the DRS of Faded Exotic, and there is 2 cars between Robbo and Leo for race win. Nelu has the freshest tyres and what I think is a removable pen. Okay, right, from Riley's well, we will not count Nelu's pen. But it doesn't matter because Faded got a 6-second time penalty and needs to build a 6-second lead. Yeah. Robbo's just missed out the DRS. He's actually almost gapped Vigo as Nelu's alongside him, getting squeezed from the championship leader as he's just tumbling down the order. We haven't seen this often from Vigo. Vigo's struggling for pace in a race and is taking his trace away from the race. Down towards turn number 4 we go, and Nelu is still in 6th, and the top 4 are still here as they were. Robbo is getting quite close once again to that DRS, but I could only expect Nelu will be charging through soon. As into the pits comes Marty, which I can only guess is for a set of the softs to go for the fastest lap, but he's just going to lose out. Has he got a penalty? He hasn't got a penalty, so he's actually going to have to repass Paul Diver legitimately. Message deleted. Cheers, mate. Through the stadium section we go. Exotic's almost actually gapped Leo. Gap of 7 tenths, 8 tenths now as we enter the final corner. I am going to flick up the penalty screen. So Robbo's back in DRS. We've got 7 cars in this train, and 5 of the 7 in the train. There's no point for fastest lap. Is there not? Oh, hello, there's a lot of battling here. Annie outside to the Aussie inside again. And Anton Sprotov is ahead of Runnard. So at the minute the podium will be Leo and at the minute the podium will be Leo, Robbo, Anton. 3 laps to go in this Mexico City Grand Prix. And it is getting to the business end of this race. Robbo needing to make moves. Marty ahead of Paul Diver. Should have just waited, I think, for the DRS just to then try and go for the fastest lap for pride. So Anton, can he overtake Leo? Can Leo just make sure to control this race? Robbo will be thinking, will desperation start to creep in for Robbo now? As there is a 3-second for Strikey. Strikey picks up another 3-second onto a 6-second. Maybe tap from behind was Robbo by Nelu Safu. 2 laps to go in Mexico City as Faded Exotic starts the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. And down the main straight we go. Robbo, will he be thinking of a move? He needs to get cooking soon. He needs to get moves on as Anton's going for 2nd place. And they're going to go 3 wide. Yes, they are. And Leo wanted to go to the outside, ran the outside. Exotic's going to hold the lead. Anton Shabotarov up in the second. Leo down the third. There's only one car between the two cars without track clearing penalties in the top 7. As down towards turn number 4 we go. Will we see a lunge on the inside by Runnard? And there's 2 different races here. Anton has got a car in between himself and Runnard, and Leo's got a car in between himself and Robbo. 2 different races here. One for the final podium spot, one for the lead of the race after they crossed the line and pens are applied for the heart of sector 2 for the penultimate time in this race. Runnard will be looking to get what he wants as Paul Diver comes into the pit lane, but could well be lapped soon. He could be lapped, and that fastest lap go could not be ready as Nelu is ahead of Robbo. That's basically race gone for Robbo. Unless some carnage happens with Leo, I think our race will be Leo. But let's not do any commentators because around the final corner we go to start the final lap of this race. Faded Exotic in the late stages has shown that he has got the pace on board with the rear of Anton Shabotarov down towards turn number 1. ERS being drained. Runnard's gaining on Leo. Is there going to be a launch to the inside? No, there's not. Exotic goes defensive. Round the outside goes Anton. Drifting goes to Williams through turn 1 and 2. Anton into the lead with that 3-second penalty. Now on the power down towards turn number 4. Leo is just maybe going to think of move down the inside or turn number 4. Yes, he is down the inside. Goes Leo. Can Leo now get the outside for turn 5? And he will get the outside again for turn number 6. And Leo is now going to be fighting with his Williams towards the heart of sector 2. But Exotic's just going to have to stay sitting in front. And towards the heart of sector 2 we go once again. And it is looking very good for the Ferrari. It's off! Off into the barrier and out of the top 6 goes Nelu in the Ferrari. As towards the end of sector 2, Nelu looking for a great result. Spins off on the final lap. Towards the stadium section we go. What a performance we have seen from the top 7 to the final corner. Round the final corner, the Tifosi are roaring him home for the 2nd time this year. Leo takes the victory. Leo wins the Mexico City Grand Prix. Robbo will take 2nd. Anton 3rd, Runnard 4th, Vigo 5th. That is Mexico done and dusted, and we have got the Ferrari on top once again of... What a performance from the whole lot. And Elmer John does take that fastest lap. We've only got 3 cars left across the line. Goodbow's actually up on his lap. Let's see. Let's just watch with him. So that is Mexico City done and dusted. How did Nelu save it? He went straight to the wall. I got no idea, to be honest. Here's your top 3. The Romanian of the Scuderia rear Ferrari driver Leo takes the crown in Mexico City. Instance please, not too fast. I was what? Okay. There. So that is Mexico City done and dusted. Thank you all for tuning in. And tomorrow we watch X1 again. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. No worries. It's my job, isn't it? Let's go quickly fact check something. X1 tomorrow, you're joined by myself and Gotts as they head off to... Don't know, don't say. Where's the calendar? Calendar. They head to Shanghai. So, my name's Rio Harris. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll be seeing you in the comms book tomorrow for X1. And I'll be here. And I won't be here next week because we are on the season week break. Thank you all for tuning in. Adios.